We're at the Calthorpe project to do a small play structure within their grounds. And it's like going back in history because Calthorpe was one of the seminal early works by Architype, really showcases that kind of self-build mentality. So what we've come back to do is to do it all over again, but on a smaller scale. Architype started 30 years ago, and it was started up by John Broome and Bob Hayes, who got to know each other at Lewisham Architects Department, where they worked before, and through working with Walter Siegel. And Walter Siegel was the original Mr. Self-Build.
Even in those days, there was still a shortage of council housing. The Siegel system was ideal for that because you could build on sides of hills, you could, build on sites which you wouldn't normally be able to afford to build on, and it seemed a natural sort of progression.
When the building was first built, we actually built a little play structure then, which is sadly not here anymore. So we're actually kind of revisiting things. It's also an opportunity for the younger people in Architype to kind of experience some of the history, both by being next to the project, but actually making and doing in the same way that the early self-build projects were built.
All the early Architype self-build schemes, we were hands-on. I remember Jono and I one Friday evening designing a staircase for a self-build scheme in Greenwich, and then having to go and build it the following day, having never built a staircase before in our lives. And that sort of, what that taught us was that always put yourself in the position of the guy who's going to be building this.
Architype have always sort of passionately believed that buildings should be buildable, they should be simple, they should be easy to understand, and be able to be put together by all manner of people. We don't believe that construction should be kind of super fancy and have lots of twiddles on it. It should be kind of inherently simple. Whether it's a self-builder or a construction team, take it on, it just makes for a much smoother process.
Building is a logical process, and often it's very confused by complicated design. So I guess maybe the ethos in Architype is about keeping it simple, thinking about it if you were actually trying to put that building together, how you would do it. So it's about learning by doing and learning through experience.
It's about kind of social sustainability, and that's something that all Architype projects strive to achieve, really. And the great self-build projects, people working together to build their own communities, is something that we still do today. Even when we don't build it ourselves, we like to involve the local community as much as we possibly can in a kind of participatory way, so that they get a sense of ownership on their community project, at the end of the construction period and forevermore.